Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jaison Mathew. This is the second video I am posting related to Cisco new WLC, that is 9800 series. And this time we are going to talk about the day zero configuration on 9800. So right now we are working on the CL version, the VM virtual machine version of it. We have multiple flavors, as I explained in the last video. We have multiple flavors available in 9800. So CL is the version that is available for the cloud-based uh, platform. So this is the one we are going to use it for day one, sorry, the day zero configuration. So day zero configuration is nothing but the basic configuration that you need it on the WLC side to make it working, or like at least get the GUI, something like that, or the getting the access. So previously when we were doing AirOS devices day zero configuration, you had a configuration wizard and you will just go through the configuration wizard and your day zero configuration is done and your WLC is up and running. So that model is getting changed with this 9800, and this 9800 is coming with some specific command sets. There is no wizard kind of stuff, so you have to configure your own device with the basic set of commands. So this is my vSender, and inside vSender I have two ESXi servers. So right now this particular 9800 CL is installed on this particular um, EXS server. So what we have to change is you have to go to that particular VM switch, that is virtual switch. So in my case, I am talking about this vSwitch 0, because I'm going to put this particular 9800 in my vSwitch. So in this scenario, you have to go to that particular VM switch. If you are talking about you are having a different switch or something, you can do that on that particular switch. You can go into the settings of the vSwitch, then go to the security and make sure you are accepting these three things under security. If you're not doing this, when our WLC start functioning, it will not be able to function in the right way to and establish the connectivity. So you have to make sure your VM switch is having the promiscuous mode is enabled, MAC address changes are accepted, and forget transmits. That these three configurations should be enabled or put it in the accept mode. Then only you will be able to start communicating to your outside world of your UCS box or the VM box. So be careful with that configuration. That is one of the requirement for running this particular WLC CL version of it. Now let's go and configure day zero configuration on the WLC side 9800. So let me launch the 9800 CL. Let's get into the console. So let me type my enable password. Okay, I am in. Then now we have to start with the configuration. So as I mentioned in the previous video, we have three interfaces here. So as you can see here, G1, 2, 3. So G1 we already put that as DSCP. So I'm going to shut down this interface because I'm not going to use it in this particular video. So when we talk about management, you have out of management option that you can use G1. So in my case, in this particular video, I'm not going to use that G1. I'm directly going into G2 and I'm configuring the IP address on that interface. Basically, you consider this one as a WLC, but you consider this one as a normal Cisco ESXi device. So I'm not going to use that gigabit one. I don't need out of band now. So I'm going to shut down that interface. So that interface is down. Now you can see that we have three interfaces. One interface is down, administratively down. Before we start our day zero configuration, the first thing what we need is a VLAN. So first thing we have to create is a VLAN in 9800. So basically that's how we have to start it. So let's create a VLAN. That is for me, VLAN is 111. So I created that 111. Then my VLAN name is wireless VLAN. So I'll just put it as wireless VLAN. So this is we created the VLAN now. Now let's go into the interface G2, then create or the configure that particular interface. So first thing first, we have to make it as a switch port. Then switch port mode, we are going to use it as a trunk. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN is 111. In my case, my setup is running with a native VLAN configuration, so I have to put that switch port trunk native VLAN 111. So these are the configuration. Then to make sure this one is configured and the interface is done properly, we will do a no shut or shut and no shut to just make sure everything is applied in the right manner. Now let's see the configuration. Show run interface G2. Now we can see that this particular interface is configured with native VLAN, allowed VLAN, and the switch port mode trunk. Now this particular one is up. Now you can see VLAN is created. So wireless VLAN is here and it's active. Now let's go ahead and create that particular L3 interface because you created the VLAN. You already mapped that with a gigabit interface too, but we don't have an L3 interface for that. So let's create that L3 interface. So let me create L3 interface 111. Then IP address, you can give your IP address. I'm going to give mine. Okay, so IP address is given. I'm going to give no shut. Now let's see how many interfaces are there. As you can see here, we have a VLAN interface that is configured as 218 and 195. Now we are done with the basic interface configuration. Let's verify what is there in the configuration. So first one is show VLAN. We have our VLAN here, that is wireless VLAN. Then next one is show interface G2. So sorry, show run interface G2. So here you can see that this particular interface is configured with native VLAN. Your interface is allowed with the VLAN 111, then mode is trunk. The next one is show interface VLAN 111. So this, as you can see here, this interface is up and protocol is up, auto state is enabled. So you can see that this particular interface is up with the configuration of IP address of 195. Then show run interface VLAN 111. So here you can see the IP address is also configured. So same IP was reflecting previous output. So after this, let's verify this particular IP address is functioning or this setup is ready to do the communication with your own network. So for that, I'm going to ping one of my IP address available in the network. So yeah, so this particular ping is working. So that means your connectivity with your VLAN is already in place. So now next thing is we have to establish a route to outside world other than your VLAN. So as you can see here, my subnet mask is 128. So I will not be able to ping my gateway IP, like I will not be able to ping other than the VLAN here. So let me try to ping .105.218.1. So as you can see here, this one will not be able to ping outside our VLAN. So we have very limited number of IPs here. So let's configure the default gateway on this one. That is basically a IP route with any. Now let's create a IP route, default gateway kind of concept, the default IP route. So let's give that IP route here, IP route 0.0.0.0. We'll not be able to give the interface because we don't have the gateway configured on that interface, so we'll not be able to use the VLAN here. So we'll directly give 10.1.5 to 18.129. Okay, so let's try to ping the gateway now. To ping 10.1.5.1.1. As you can see here now, now it's able to ping because your default gateway is provided with in the form of IP route. So now you are ready to communicate with any IP in your network. So basically, based on your configuration, you will be able to ping as per your network routing. Once we are done with this, you establish uh, your uh, your communication to your infrastructure. Now let's talk about wireless specific stuff. So first thing, what we have to configure for AP joining and all. First, you have to make sure your particular hardware or your WLC is supporting your country code or the regulatory domain. So for that, we have to enable our country on this WLC. So show run include country. You can see that there is nothing here. So let's configure that. So before configuring our AP specific configuration or the country specific configuration, we have to shut down the 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. So let's shut down that first. That's a dependency kind of thing. So by default it will be enabled. So we have to disable that first. As you know, in iOS also we have to disable our radios to make any changes on the radio specific things, right? So the same way, even in iOS XE, we have the similar thing. So to disable radio, we have to go to the configuration mode, then configure that using .11 5 gigahertz shutdown. So this is the command to shut down your 5 gigahertz radio. So it's a standard warning that comes in. Then 2.4 shutdown. So we are shutting down both the radios now. Once this configuration is done, you will be able to configure the AP country code. So till that, like it's a dependency, you have to make sure these radios are shut down before you make changes on the country side. Now let's configure the country. AP country, I'm going to use this one as India. I'm from India, so I'm just setting it as IN. Now your country code is set. Now let's see the same configuration how it's reflecting here. So you can see that this particular configuration is there as part of your show run output. So AP country is configured as IN. Now we are ready with the communication point of view. We are able to communicate with your infrastructure. The next thing is we have to make a management VLAN for wireless. So the same concept that we have a management interface inside WLC, the iOS WLC, the same way we have to choose a VLAN that is a wireless management VLAN. For that, we have to give a command as wireless management interface as VLAN triple one. So this is the same interface, same VLAN. I'm going to use it as a wireless management interface. Now, after doing this one, we have one more thing is pending, that is configuring a certificate. So if you are working on an appliance that is 9840 or 80, you don't have to worry about the certificate because you will have the built-in certificate burned in certificate inside your WLC platform. But as you know, this one is a cloud-based one, and there is no certificate installed. So we have to install a certificate inside this. For generating the certificate, we can't do that particular command is not run on the config mode. So we have to come out of the config mode and type that command here. The command is wireless config VWLC SSC. So there's a self-signed certificate kind of thing. Then key size you can see. So let me try to do question mark so that you will get the output. So you can see VWLC is the command used for SS configure SSC self-signed certificate. Then key size. Then we can choose what is the key size we have to give. So I'm going to use it as 2048. Then signature. Then SHA 256. Password 0, Cisco exclamation 123. Now you can see that there is a SSC configuration is happening, and you can see these things in the background. Okay, our certificate configuration is done. Then next one is show clock. Again, everything, so you have to make sure you are having the right clock set on this this box, this particular device. So if your clock is not configured correctly, you can configure your NTP server. You can NTP server, you can configure your NTP server. Okay, so I'm just setting the NTP server. So once we are done with this configuration, we are good to go with the AP joining kind of scenario. Means your day zero configuration is done. So your APs will be able to join. You are able to communicate outside. You are able to you have a valid certificate now. You have all the interfaces configured for accepting the access points. So that part is done. If you're planning to use a default factory setting WLC inside DNAC, now you have certificate related steps for AP joining, but when you are planning to use this one as a DNAC 9800, you have a couple of configurations. So your SNMP string and SNMP default strings are already there, and you know your credentials that what you have to use. So next thing what you need is the net config. You have to enable the net config. So net conf-yang is the command to enable that netconf configuration for DNAC usage. Then you can have a username and password, the same username and password, you can use it there. For creating a username inside this 9800, you can always use GUI, but in the CLI, the command is username, then username DNAC admin. So this is the username I'm going to use it inside my DNAC to manage this platform. So DNAC admin, then privilege level, you can set what is the privilege level you want to give it. So I'm going to give full privileges. Then password, I'm not going to use any encryption, so I'm putting it as Cisco. Then I'm giving password as Cisco exclamation 123. So now you are getting a warning message saying that this non-encrypted password will be taken out. So that's okay. So I'm showing this command because in any point of time, if you watch my previous video, you know that this username and password is set through the wizard coming through that particular OVA installation. So we never created that username and password. In case if you want to erase the configuration, you can erase the configuration on this WLC using right erase command will be available on this particular platform to erase the configuration to put it in the factory default settings. So if you want to do that, you can do that, but once you are done with this you will be getting the console. But if you want to enable login on SSH or something, you have to create a username. So this is the username command. You can use it when you want to create a new user for remote access of this particular device. So now we are done with all the configuration. Let me just write the configuration. So you can use write or copy run to start up that command. So that's basically an iOS device, so you can do that. So I think we are done with the day zero configuration. Now let's see the full configuration. I'll just run through it just to show you what is the configuration. I'll just keep pressing the key so that you will be able to see it. Okay, so this is the full configuration now on this one, and I already saved this one. So we are good with that particular configuration, day zero configuration. Um, and this is this is sufficient for making the WLC available through GUI, SSH, and your APs are able to join on your WLC. So the basic stuffs, the day zero configurations are done here. Hope this one will help you to bring up your new devices, new 9800 series in your network. Thank you for watching.